seemed like a perfectly normal day until my friend turned up on my doorstep banging on my front door. And she was clutching this strange bundle of towels with something kind of smothered in between the layers of them. And all she did was thrust me this bundle, her face cracking with grief, saying, "You must never damage it in any way." And then she left, and here I am, stood holding this bundle, and as I unwrapped it, I found this doll that you see before you. So I popped it on my shelf and didn't think anything of it until later that night, where I could hear giggling coming from the room it was in. I could hear noises, things moving, and there was nothing in the rest of the house other than me and this doll. I mean, I searched high and low. Like, I thought maybe a cat had got in, but it hadn't. Thought that maybe I was going stark raving mad and I was imagining things, but it felt like the doll was watching me, and I began to feel more and more uneasy as time went by. I felt like I was being watched all the time. This doll had been my friend's recently deceased mother's, and she had treasured it, and it had been really special to her, and I had only learned this a few hours later when my friend texted me to explain why, but her mother had died quite suddenly, and I wanted to help her. So I said I'd keep it, even though I didn't really understand that there was more to this doll than meets the eye, but I was starting to pick up on that. A few hours later, I received a text off my friend asking me where I'd kept the doll, and I said I've just put it on the bookshelf, and she texted me telling me to move it because if it fell, she could never forgive herself and that I needed to keep it somewhere extra safe. So I moved it for her peace of mind. A few hours later, when I went back into the room where I'd left the doll, I realised it wasn't there. It wasn't on the seat where I placed it so carefully, and when I looked, it had somehow got back onto the bookshelf, and that was enough. I took the doll and I took it into the forest because I decided I was just going to leave it there and get rid of it. There was something not normal about this doll and I did not want it in my home. But as I took the doll with me, I knocked it on the side of the wall and a little crack appeared on its head. I was worried about what my friend had said, so I rushed as quickly as I could to take it as far away from my house as possible. I left the doll under a tree, and at that moment I received another text from my friend asking again for the doll, asking if it was okay, and I ignored it and I looked at the doll and decided I was just going to wrap it up and leave it there where somebody could find it, or heaven knows, let nature take the doll away, because I didn't want it anywhere near me. So I wrapped the doll up and I left it under the tree, but as I walked away I heard a noise and I turned around and it wasn't where I'd left it. And I can't explain what happened next. All I can tell you is things were not quite right, and I ran home. I ran home as fast as my legs would take me. As I ran, I felt this searing pain in my head, and I didn't really know what to do. I just kept running and I held my head. And when I got home, I looked in the mirror and a line just above my eyebrow, similar to the line that was on the doll after I cracked its head. I went into the living room to text my friend, and the doll was already there, waiting for me. It had come home with me. And that's when I got a text from my friend. It came up bright on my phone and it said, "Have you damaged the doll?" And then a moment later another text came through and it said, "Because my mum did." And the next text said, "Have you noticed how the doll's foot is broken?" And I'm sure you guys have noticed the video as well, how the doll's foot is smashed. And her mum had died from a chronic infection in her foot. I still get headaches to this day, but so long as I look after the doll and keep it happy, then things aren't too bad. And on days where things are worse, it's because I haven't quite looked after the doll in the right way. So it's important that I look after the doll and respect it, and then things tend to be okay. Have any of you ever had an experience like this? If you have, let me know down below in the comments because I would love to hear your thoughts and stories. Until next time.